In today's video, you're going to learn how to set up a webinar and turn it into sales for your business. I'll teach you what tools you'll need, tips on how to get people to buy at the end of the webinar, and finally, how you can set it up to automate so that all you have to do is sit back and watch those sales roll in. What's going on? Welcome back to Learn with Shopify, where we give you the knowledge you need to start and grow your online business. I'm your host and creative strategist, Michelle Bali. Let's hop into it. Alright, so what is a webinar and how does it work? A webinar combines the words web and seminar. They are presentations hosted online using webinar software. During these sessions, experts share knowledge, ideas, and product demos. Here's the flow of a typical webinar. First, you'll identify a valuable topic to present on, and then you'll make a presentation deck. From there, you'll market your webinar, hosting it either live or as a pre-recorded video. Within the webinar, you're going to want to focus on teaching and building relationships. At the end of the webinar, you'll offer a paid service or good, you'll close in on those sales, and finally you'll remarket, or in other words, you're going to follow up with that audience that didn't purchase in order to encourage more sales. So what is the purpose of a webinar? Here are a couple of reasons why you might want to do a webinar. The fundamental purpose of a webinar is to lead customers closer to making a purchase. New leads and sales are what make webinars so valuable. But webinars also act as a validation tool. So during your webinar, you could sell a physical product, or a digital product, or a service that doesn't even yet exist, and see if there's interest before investing months of time and money developing it. Webinars also help you gain recognition as an authority in your industry. They also help you gain exposure to a new audience and help build your email list. The nice thing about webinars is that you can get real-time feedback from your audience about your offer that you wouldn't get if you were to just fire off an email. And finally, webinars are amazing at scaling your sales funnel and generating passive income. Once you perfect your webinar, there are steps that you can take to automate it so that you can do other things, enjoy life, and just watch those sales roll in. So stick around until the end of the video where I talk about how to set this up step by step. Who should do webinars? Webinars are traditionally popular for businesses who sell online courses and digital products in the business industry. If you sell physical products, webinars will work too. Ultimately, you can be in any industry and be successful with your webinars. The key is to create content that people are going to want to tune in for. How to choose your webinar topic. So how do you come up with a topic that people will absolutely need to be present for? Coming up with the topic is a mix of providing value for your target audience and tying it back to your sales offering. So, for example, if you're selling online cooking classes, you might want to host a webinar that walks through a popular recipe and then plug your cooking classes at the end. You'll increase sales if the educational outcomes are related to the final pitch. And there is a fine line with this, so you want to be mindful. So, for example, if you're teaching people how to start their own skincare line, you can offer them a paid course at the end on how to formulate their products, but you wouldn't want to offer them 10% off your brand's moisturizers. People sign up to learn how to build their skincare business, not to shop for skincare. What you can expect from webinars. Here are the results that you can expect from your webinars. There will be more signups than attendees. This is always the case, so don't be discouraged. Sometimes you won't make a single sale, and sometimes you'll be surprised at how many sales you actually made. When this does happen, take note of what you did to be able to repeat what resonated with your audience. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of how to actually get in and set this up. How to set up your webinar. So first we'll be covering how to set up your live webinar, and then we'll get into your automated webinar. Step number 1 is creating your deck. You can use Google Docs or make a PDF presentation with Canva. A visual presentation will keep people engaged. You want your content to really pack a punch and give away valuable advice so that even if people don't buy your products, they're going to walk away with value and remember you for that. Step number 2 is creating your sign-up page. So next you'll create your sign-up page when you're marketing your webinar. This will be where you drive people to sign up. I recommend using Leadpages to create your landing page because it makes designing your page really, really easy. Leadpages starts at $25 a month when you go for their yearly plan. You can test them out for 14 days for your first webinar with the option to cancel if it doesn't work out. To increase conversions, or in other words, to get people to sign up, you're going to want to do some of the following things. First of all, you're going to want to have the title of the webinar right at the top of the page. You're going to want to include relevant photos showing the outcome of what they're going to learn, and you can include a photo of yourself if you feel comfortable. You're going to want to have details of the time and date, and be sure to use a timer to drive urgency. Use multiple buttons for them to sign up. Use a sign-up form for them to register directly on the landing page, and always give a synopsis of what they can expect to learn. You'll then want to connect your email marketing tool to your landing page so that you can set up automated emails that remind people about the webinar and follow up with them after the webinar. To do this, click on the Sign Up button. Click Edit the pop-up. Then Edit Integrations on the Submit button. From here, you can choose which email marketing provider you're with. If you're not already with any particular service, try ConvertKit. ConvertKit is free for a basic plan and starts at $29 a month to get access to automation features. This one also has a 14-day free trial. If you're trying to test it out, then you'll need to make a form in ConvertKit. The purpose of the form is to send the sign-up info to ConvertKit, so click Landing Pages and Forms. Create New. Now choose whatever options here. It won't matter because you won't actually see it. It just acts as a transmitter, but you will want to rename it to your webinar name and date just to keep yourself organized. Go into the settings of the form you just made and turn off the incentive form. The incentive form is a double opt-in and we don't really need that right now. Then back in Lead Pages you'll click on the down caret in the ConvertKit integration and choose the right form. From there you're going to want to choose the info that you collect. Email and first name is usually enough, and once they click Submit to sign up, they'll see a thank you page. So this is what the default page looks like, and just make sure you're designing it to your own branding. Now you'll want to send them an email as soon as they sign up. Make sure you're in the Automations tab. Then click Sequences, New Sequence. Give it a name. If you click 0 under When to Send, the confirmation email will send immediately after they sign up. Include details of when the webinar is, the link to join, and any information they'll learn. Top left it says Draft, so make sure you hit Published. Now we'll have to tell the system that as soon as someone signs up for the webinar, they should receive an email confirmation. So head into Automations, click New Automation, Create Automation, and we'll tell it to join the form that we made to the email. So choose the right form and link it to the right email. So now you can see why proper naming is important, because if you have the same webinar in a few dates, you'll definitely want to differentiate. Okay, so if you've gotten this far, honestly, bravo. Glad you're staying with us. So the next step is to get the room set up for this. I prefer Zoom. Zoom is a free tool. It includes 40-minute sessions with up to 100 participants, and you can run unlimited meetings. They have other paid plans if you need more features, but the free features are pretty stacked. You can share your desktop screen and connect your phone screen. You can allow others to share their screen. You can record the meeting to make it available for people who couldn't attend. And there's a chat room, and you can use a whiteboard to explain your ideas. Go into Zoom and click Schedule. Name it properly because people will be able to see this name. Choose the right date, time and time zone. I'm turning the password off. I make mine and my participants' video off when I enter so I can choose when I want to turn it on. In Advanced Settings, I enable a waiting room so people can enter the room before the webinar starts. They'll just see a white screen that says waiting for meeting to start, but I do not want them to be able to join the actual chat until I'm in. So I'll turn that off. Get in the habit of automatically recording the meeting and saving it locally so that you have a copy on your computer. That way you can make it available as evergreen content later. We'll talk about that in a second, but once you press Schedule, it will add it to your calendar. And by the way, when you're sending that confirmation email out that we did together earlier, make sure you're including the Zoom link that gets generated when you create the meeting. From here, I would recommend that you either automate the following emails to remind people of the upcoming webinar, or you send personalized emails so you've built out the presentation. You've got the sign-up page and the email automations, and you have the chat room enabled. You'll then want to create a limited time offer specifically for this audience. Now we need to learn how to land those sales in the actual webinar. How to make money using a live webinar. Here are some tips to ensure that your webinar is profitable. Save yourself 15 minutes to give your pitch. After the 45 minutes mark, people will have to leave and they might get bored or just stop focusing. When you're going through your pitch, show your offer visually. If you're selling a physical product, use a demo video. If you're selling online courses, show the course dashboard and some sort of material. However, the single most important thing that you could do is develop relationships. I don't care how tight your presentation is or how perfect the pitch is, relationships sell, so relationships start even before the webinar starts.